Hey everyone, Kat here, your favorite ginger bibliophile. I hope you're all doing really well, and I hope you're in the mood for a nice, seasonal tag, because that's what I've got for you today. It's the Christmas music tag, which was created by Daniela over at Uncommon Reader and Renee over at Beyond Books, so I will link them down below. I was tagged by the awesome Alan over at Big Hard Books and Classics, and like you said, you don't have to celebrate Christmas to do this tag, it's just more of a hey, kind of get into like the general holiday spirit and have some fun. Like all the prompts are, Christmas song themed. So I tried to have some fun with that. One of these almost stumped me pretty good. And so the first prompt is Joy to the World, a book that brings you so much joy you wish the whole world would read it. And now, yeah, I could do with like a second table over here because my laptop that I'm filming this on is on my side table. So there's gonna be a lot of like bending over for stuff, and y'all already know if y'all have been here for a while, I don't hardly edit, so you're just gonna see that. Because me and that editing program we're not friends. But the top of the pile's not too far down, so Christopher Moore, the stupidest angel, a heartwarming tale of Christmas terror. I read this every year for like to kick off the holiday season. And I just have so much fun with this. Yeah. Basically, this is a story of what would happen if Scrooge didn't learn his lesson, as we are told very early on. It's like, there's a warning, do not give this to Granny, do not read this to your small children. There is cussing and light cannibalism and some bad stuff. And then we get the intro. It's like, here's the pages. And, if this was another story, he'd be visited by ghosts and learn his lesson. But this ain't that story. And in a couple pages, he gonna die. So we get to see the bad guy bite it. And it's just so satisfying. That might not be Christmassy, but it happens over Christmas and it makes me happy. The second one, Let It Snow, a book that takes place in a snowy, cold environment. Well, this one is decidedly not Christmassy. Ice Station by Matthew Reilly, or he's Matt Reilly on this cover. This is decidedly not Christmas. This is one of the Scarecrow books, and it's basically people getting eaten alive by killer whales and murdered by, you know, other guys because there's like this, as it says, an ice station. There's a submarine. They think they're all sneaky. And we got this group, doing something, and then this country's group breaking in, going, we're going to kill you all and steal all this cool tech. And they'll never figure out it's us because, the killer whales are going to clean up after us because there's, gotta have that little hole for the submarines to come in. And I don't remember the entire plot of this because it has been a very long time. But I remember really, really enjoying it. And you don't get much colder than like inside of an iceberg, which I also could have gone with Ice Hunt by James Rollins for like a similar vibe. And y'all already know I love me some James Rollins. He will pop up later. So, but this is like one of my main fallbacks when I'm waiting for one of his novels to come out. So, yep. And then let's see here. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. A book with a mean character or one you just didn't like. That's one and the same for me because if I hate like the main character, if you're just an absolute prick that cannot get your crap together, you're just all full of yourself, whatever, I end up DNFing it. Like, I gave up Three Musketeers because it was just pissing me off that they're the heroes. You're supposed to love them. They're the heroes. They're a bunch of sexist, worthless, deadbeat pricks. And I could not get through that book because how do you hate the main characters, the heroes? But I did. And this book was kind of the same way, except for he wasn't supposed to be a hero. Blood Groove. This will be one of my unhauls. As our main character is a British. I think he's some kind of like European baron from back in the day, and he was just a sexist, racist, narcissistic jackass. I'm probably gonna get this video taken down for that. Oops. But, whatever. Of course, the outfit has to be misbehaving, but I don't care. Nobody else is gonna know I'm cute. I'm gonna feel like I'm cute for once. So I'm dressed up for myself today. Got the little black choker with the evil black kitty, and the red because it's December. So, yep. But yep, this is a vampire novel. I was excited to love it, but it takes place in 1970s Louisiana, and it is exactly what you expect from 1970s Louisiana, which is not much worse than, you know, 2024 small towns and stuff. But yep. So this one just, yeah, it fits that bill if there's a main character that you just didn't like. Some people sadly will love him for that. Santa Claus is coming to town. A book releasing soon you can't wait to read. I'd put up a picture except for they're rude and they're like there was a cover and then it was taken off and then it's brought back, so I don't have it. But the third book in James Rollins' fantasy series, the Moonfall series, is coming out in February. Woohoo! So I told you James Rollins would be back in this list. So I've read the first two, and I'm mad because the first two books were 13 months apart on the release. I expected the third one this year when it was still nice and cold out. Like I was thinking like March of this year, and now it's February 18th. So it's gonna be belated Valentine's Day present to myself, because why not? Valentine's Day is stupid. It should be second Halloween. If you need the date on the calendar, remember to pay attention to me. You suck and we're done anyway. So that's my book. Because at this point, I only have two. Like, they have a book, I have to have it, authors, and it's James Rollins and Christopher Moore. And I'm getting both next year. But Christopher Moore's is not until end of May, so that's definitely not soon. I don't even know what it's about, but it's got his name on it. I need it. I have waited several years. I haven't had anything since, I think, Shakespeare for Squirrels, I think is the latest one. Or it might be Erasmus. They came out weirdly close together when usually it's 3 years between each book. And they've both come out since I started my YouTube channel not quite 3 years ago. So, yeah! I only gotta wait till end of May and I get more books. And there's probably another James Rollins one because he does a Sigma Force novel book a year. But there hasn't even been like a hint of that one yet. 12 Days of Christmas, a book of short stories. Now, this one was hard because I don't have many of them. I've already gotten rid of some of them because they were just bad. But I do have one that I actually enjoyed. Marissa Meyer's Stars Above. This is part of, as you can see, the Lunar Chronicles, which I freaking love that series. It's very like futuristic, cyborgy, steampunker fairy tale retellings. We've got Cinderella. I don't even like Cinderella. Like, he can't even recognize me without my shoes on. And literally every girl in the whole village, kingdom, whatever, none of them could fit the shoe except for her. I guess fairy godmother, but really, yeah, that marriage ain't gonna last. You don't know what you even look like. He has to pick you by your foot fetish. Well, his foot fetish. It's like, crap. It gets cold, you cover up, put on some socks for the winter, because, it's not like they had a bunch of rugs back then all over the place. Yep, sorry, he's cheating on you with the maid. But we got Cinderella. We've got Scarlet, Red Riding Hood. Cress is Rapunzel. Winter, which is Snow White. And then we have Ferris, which is Snow White's evil stepmother's book. And like they're all individual, but yet they kind of like intertwine at the end. It's so freaking good. And this is all the little short stories that, you know, normally you'd have to get online. And it's just such a good book. But I need her to do more villain origin stories because she's only done one. She did Heartless, and it was so good. It's the Evil Queen story, and I freaking loved it. Or not the Evil Queen, the Queen of Hearts. Yeah. They're all evil, they're all queens. But yes, it was so good, and I need more. maybe if we all like start petitioning and harassing and saying it online, she'll do it. So, please. The Little Drummer Boy, a book that brings back childhood memories. And this is cliche. Not specifically this one, but Harry Potter series. I started reading these books when I was the age of these ones. And it was basically my 7th grade science teacher, Mr. Ed, called me Hermione. And he knew exactly what he was doing. Like, oh no, this old man did not just insult me in front of my classmates. And he thinks he's gonna get away with it? Oh, it's go time. But I need to find out how much of a go time it is. So, I had to like read the first book and find out how badly he insulted me. So my mom, got me the paperback because the third one was coming out about that time. Like we knew about Harry Potter because he had come to class with like the lightning bolts on his forehead, and went to a midnight release, got the thing. So they had the first two were already in paperback at my mom's work. So she got me the first one. I liked it. Decided to not take out my teacher for it. So yeah, these are childhood innocence and the start of my reading addiction. So if you're watching this, I blame you for my expensive reading habit now. Deck the halls. A book that has a party scene or takes place during a holiday. Now, I could have picked several because she has one for several of the holidays, or gone with a completely different direction. I'm gone with Mary Wrath because I love the Mary Wrath series and she's got like 30 books. There's one for all the holidays, but I haven't talked about this author in a while. Janet Ivanovich's Stephanie Plum series. And these are the in between novels. So Plum 11, which it's. Oh no, this is the Valentine's Day one. I think I grabbed the wrong one. Yes, I did. Ah, it's Visions of Sugar Plums, which is somewhere buried on my shelf. Yeah. Oh, now I see it. Oh well, I'm not climbing up and grabbing it now. But so she's got this one, Plum Lucky, which, is our March holiday. That why am I St. Patty's Day. Yeah. And there's Plum Spooky for Halloween. So those are like the four that we have, and then there isn't really a separate one for Thanksgiving because this series very much centers around food. So they're all kind of Thanksgiving novels. But yep, Stephanie Plum series. I might have had a nice stack laying beside here, but putting them back, they have fallen over. So, and then Frosty the Snowman, a book with a character who is cold or calculating. Noah, look! Though not totally my fault, this book is ancient and I got it used to begin with. So, the cover is coming off. It is all kinds of messed up. This is the first book in what is now an 18 book series. It started off as 13, ended. There was prequels, there was other series, and then she came back to it. So this book is all kinds of a mess. And if somebody wants to get me a new copy of it, I would not say no. Because, I have to be very careful. I mean, clearly it's used, I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's been stamped on the inside. Because I didn't know if I liked this author when I bought this. So I do not pay full price if my library doesn't have it. I find it used. How old is this book? Let's see. 2004. So this book is 20 years old. So yeah. But this one definitely, we got a cold and calculating character because Trent, he is, he's freaking evil. He is selling brimstone, except for good luck proving it. He is a very calculated prick. Finding out what he is, that's a spoiler for much later in the series. But basically, we have a witch, a pixie, and a vampire. They all live in a church. Sounds like a messed up start for a, joke. You thought I was going to say boar, didn't you? There's so much hair. Tickling my nose. But yep, we have Rachel Morgan, who is our redheaded witch, and is basically like she works for, the Innerlanders, or aka basically magical cop, because this is after the world has learned that vampires and witches and all that are real, because a genetically modified tomato pretty much wiped out the human world. It's like, hey, these people aren't dying. We can go. Oh, they're not dying because they're not human. They're not, allergic to this strain that this prick put in this tomato, which is pretty much the premise of the prequel is where did that T4 angel tomato come from? And so we have hated Trent for generations because it's his freaking dad. That whole family is corrupt and needs to be wiped out. But yeah, this series is so freaking good. And he stays calculating, but oh, this is basically a story of do not mess with the redhead and her friends. You will pay. She might take some crap. You go messing with her friends. I don't care what happens to me. You going down, and I can relate to that. And I just love Jenks the pixie. Like all his cusses have to do with Tinkerbell's anatomy and toys and things. So yep, I freaking love it. But yep, that's that tag. I at this point I don't know who has done it, who's already put it up, who's already been tagged by everyone else, who's recorded and like me will have this up on Tuesday. So if you made it this far, congrats. If you want to, you're tagged. So make sure and tag me and I will watch your video and we can have some fun little conversations. And I will, of course, tag the others that I have already mentioned. And hopefully you enjoyed this. Have some fun holiday memories. And I will see you soon. Bye. Happy